now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh no, no, no. Oh please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw it coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed. You know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Hello, world. It's good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Very late stream, but I could not go live. So, as you can see, the title is utterly wrong. That is coming from the farm lady, E-I-E-I-O. Crazy crime critters, cockroaches down on the farm. So, she supposedly has spoke with Don's ex-wife who has 15 children, and she is saying that she knows that Don never did this and Don never did that, and Don's been a good guy, and all kinds of bull honky, to be quite honest with you. And we're going to play that. We're going to play that. So I am using this under the Fair Use Act of 1976 for commentary and specially criticism purposes. Donald Wells. Mods, everyone can have their opinion as long as it is a respectful one. But the one thing that, and she is talking about victimizing people, hello, Mary's a victim and you are calling her a liar. For those of you that don't know, this Dawn S.A'd Mary when she was 5 years old. 5 years old. Yes. It makes me sick, and Mary is a good woman. They will never listen. And you know, Miss Daisy, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me you're a demon, you're Satan, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. I don't care. I don't care. The man you talk to all the time, who shows you nothing but his good side, in my eyes, is the Satan. It's disgusting. So, I have sped this up. Put a 1 in the chat if you know about the Summer Wells story. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. And let me know. All right. So most people know. Saying that Chris, just awful things. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Trust me. We're going to get to it. I don't normally do this. I usually let people say what they want and all of that. And I rarely, if ever, respond hardly. But this is despicable, in my opinion. So let me know if you guys can hear this. I'm going to start playing it. I do have to pause. Yes, he admitted it, Sissy. You're exactly right. And let me be the first to say that I think Daisy is easily influenced. I think she's just a country girl who really doesn't know the bad actors out there. So she can call me what she wants. Daisy and I had a conflict about this case right very soon after I started my channel over a year ago. And she said that Rose, which was Candace's sister, is alive. Now, Rose has a husband named Chris, and they share 2 kids together. And she said Rose was coming out of the woodwork. And I dug. And that's what I did. And I contacted the person who she said was Rose. It was not Rose. It was a person that was related to Rose. And they told me what the confusion was. But I went up on Daisy's panel. I told her, explained to her unequivocally. And she was very nice on the panel and everything. And I got off. They started talking about me, bashing me, whatever. Then I had went over to Prayer Garden's channel, and Prayer Garden and Daisy were not getting along at that time, and it's been history ever since. Yeah. So let's get started. Let me know if you can hear this. Let me see. It is sped up. It has to be. Hold on. What? Hold on 1 second.
The bar, that little girl is a lie too. There's lies, guys. A person that is truly a victim of SA, they don't go after the perpetrator like that. You go after them in a law enforcement way. You don't get on social media and promote your cooking channel. All right, making up more and more stuff, and especially to attack a young girl like.
Okay, can y'all hear that? It is faster. I have to run it on 1.5. Okay, thank you. So she just said a person like that doesn't go online and they go to police. First of all, she was 5. She was 5 years old when that happened. And it happened for several years. Then Dawn has always been in and out of the prison system. When Dawn was 19 years old, he was in jail. He comes back out of jail, and the very night, Dawn tries to SA his sister again. His sister runs in her parents' room, Dawn's dad and his stepmom's room, and tells what's going on. And it became a rift in the family. Dawn's dad said, if you ever call on him, it's over between us. And so it was buried deep in the family. It was buried deep in the family. And the day Summer Wells goes missing, June 15th, the next day, June 16th, Mary makes a call to the Hawkins County Police Department and says, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but the father has SA'd us, Jeannie, Mary, because they know how their stepbrother is. They know who Don Wells is. They know exactly who Don Wells is. Because they, at 5 years old, Jeannie, Mary, all of them, had to put up with this man, this monster, in my opinion. And because he says, oh, praise the Lord, thank you, Daisy, thank you, Daisy. You understand me, Daisy. Thank you for knowing my heart. He's absolved of everything, and everything is free. But Daisy, what is it? I know, Justice Janie. I know. But Daisy just says here, well, they should have went to the police. Well, they did. They didn't do it when they were 5. They went to their parents when Dawn got out of jail. And it was, you go to the police, and this family is over with.
And say, what happened to her? I don't know. I think that Don is tormented about what could have possibly happened this summer. That's my opinion. I think he worries about it. I think he thinks about it a lot.
I think he thinks about it a lot too. He should think about it.
And I really think that he is tormented. I may have to call Christine, guys, because and no matter, it was not Mary's place to even bring up Margie on social media. Exactly. And that's something that they're going to have to deal with. Hey, Snow. Hey, Hash Brown. Let me see where Christine is. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
So what we're about to hear allegedly Don's ex-wife, who has 15 kids and is about to sing Don's praises. Hold on, it goes mute for a minute.
Innocent 5-year-old child's case, and continues to still do it. Canadian, she still continues to do it. Hello, Wisconsin mama. We do. We have to stay strong. But guys, by attacking Don's daughter like this and saying this stuff about her, it's not cool. You know, if Mary wants to blast her story on
Who is attacking Don's daughter?
YouTube, that's Mary's right to do that. But I'm telling you right now, I'm a victim of SA, and I've never even confronted my perpetrator yet. Leave alone. I don't even want to go around him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want anything to do with him. But it just seems, in my opinion, that Mary is taunting Don, and that's just my opinion. She's using this to get attention, and she's using it to get publicity and and to attack Don.
So she says that Mary is using this to get attention, to taunt Don, to attack Don. Do you know how humiliating it has to be for a victim to go and just how courageous it is for a victim to come on a public platform to say that their brother SA'd them? You know why she did it? She didn't do it for so many years, but she did it for Summer. She did it for Summer because they know what their stepbrother is like. He's been in prison most of his adult life, then probably he's been out of prison because he's a hoodlum.
And she's going to the big people to do it. And I believe that everyone judged Don and Candace by what Chris M said. Now, I have respect for Chris M. I do on certain things. But I think it goes too far when he overclouded this case with Mary's story and made everyone look at Don and Candace in a different way. Yeah, I don't.
No. You can't blame it on Chris M for Don's actions. You cannot do that, Daisy. You cannot blame it on Chris M for Don's actions. You can't blame it on Mary. You can't blame it on Jeannie. You can't blame it on anyone except for the man who did it. How do you defend an SA and P who is in the middle of a missing child case and acts like what he did is perfectly normal? There is something wrong in the minds of anyone who defends him. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Jilly Bean. Love you too, honey. Thank you. So she says she's a victim of SA. Daisy, I'm so sorry. I hope you get justice. Every person deserves justice if they've been SA'd. Period. Hands down. Full stop. But if you are, and I believe you are a person of SA, you can't say this person's doing it for attention. That is so wrong.
Agree with everything that has been done in this case, but she continues to do this, and it's not right for her. Come up, Christine, to go after Don's daughter. I'm sorry, it's wrong. And this girl is, innocent, and she loves her father. She loves her father. She is very, very close. Now, me and Christine knows more than what we're saying about that, because that is none of our business, and it's not to be put out on YouTube. But I'm telling you, Don and his kids, his older kids, are very, very close, and he's very close to his grandchildren as well.
Define close. Because in almost 2 years, I have never heard Don talk about A, And he talks a lot about everything, any other kids or his grandchildren. Now, I could be wrong. He might be close, but
Sorry, my throat's hurting, guys.
he hasn't said anything that I'm aware of.
I do too, Chase. I think about that a lot. I really hope he didn't, because I found out a few years ago that his nephew killed himself, and I wonder if that had anything to do with
Guys, if Trevor comes in the chat, just let me know.
it. I know I probably should have come forward with it, but I've just always been kind of scared too. It's not lies, Mercedes. I promise. This is so wrong how channels are coming at people with these lives ruining people's family. Oh, it is not right. You're right. I mean, especially his innocent, daughter. You guys, I can understand that Don and Josh don't butt heads. I can understand that Chris M and
Daisy is true crime, crazy, down on the farm.
And Don has butt heads, but they are pushing this Mary agenda into the ground. And it seems like every time something new happens, Mary has a story for it, in my opinion. But we know this time that it's not true.
How do you know it's not true? You're supposed to believe victims, Daisy. Always.
And Margie will tell everyone that it's not true herself. Okay, do you have the recordings?
Yeah. Hang on, I'll get it set up real quick.
That's right. Angel talks. I don't think anybody should be victim shaming anybody, but I also don't think that if somebody, listen, if Mary wants to tell her story, she's told her story. It's Summer's time. Now, Summer's been victimized enough, but for them to victimize her sister is not right at all. I understand they want to get to Don. I know they want to hurt Don. Hurt Don. Well, he hurt my feelings. He hurt my ego. Yes, Chris Sam, I think he hurt your ego. When he told you to kiss his ASS, he hurt your ego.
So Daisy thinks because Don told Chris to kiss his ASS that it hurt his ego. Daisy, Chris is a former police officer. He has worked with cold-blooded murderers, right? The worst of the worst. And you think that nobody in his 30-some years of working for the police has ever told him, like a convict has never told him to kiss their ASS? Are you serious? Are you serious? Because Don Wells, of all people, it hurt his ego? Ignorant.
That's what I think. That's my opinion. And ever since then, they wish that they would have never came up there to their house now, because it was all made to make them look bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Chris's first rodeo. So Daisy says this was made them to all look bad. There is millions of people who has saw this case. You can't make up anyone's mind for them. They have their own mind. And let me tell you something. People made up their mind when they saw how that family lived. It has nothing to do with being poor, because they're actually not poor. Don makes good money. He made a hell of a lot more money than than my family did when we were growing up. I was raised poor. We were very clean though. We didn't have a whole lot of nothing, but what we had was clean and taken care of. And we didn't live in a dungeon with mold, without a window that I wouldn't even put a pig on, let alone a child. Candace rather, opened up her home. That was her choice. She didn't have to open up her home. She didn't have to do an interview. Nobody made her.
And I'm telling you right now, everybody says, "Oh, Donna Candace's house."
Oh, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Thank you.
Let me tell you something. That house is a mansion compared to what I grew up in.
That house is a mansion before I grew up with. Well, okay.
Amen.
I could show you pictures of the house I grew up in. We didn't have running water or nothing. So, anyways,
We're ready if you're ready. You ready?
okay.
Can you hear me?
Are you guys ready for this? We got hit that like button and that subscribe button, guys.
I can't read the chat because it's going by too quick. So if anybody said hi to me, I say hi back. I couldn't read it all before I came on.
Can somebody put my membership out too? One of my moms put my membership out.
Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to Lady Love. Love you, girl. Anyway,
Love you, Lady Love.
yes. Okay, so
And Joellen.
I know there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay, so instead of us saying, "Oh, so and so said whatever," we're gonna get it from.
Christine, you're kind of going in and out, like you're making.
Right?
I have to pause it every 30 seconds or something. Don said before that his daughter was R. Duke says, Don said before that his daughter was R before, and she was a real woman and didn't tell anybody. You are so right, Dukes. Yes, I forgot about that. It's this. Ugh. No, Daisy's been on this. She's been around for probably right about the same time I started.
Yeah, you're going in and out a little bit.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I think. Okay, it's a little crackly, is what it was.
I wonder what. You want me to come out and come back in?
It might be better to hear that, if that's okay. Better
Yeah,
to hear.
I'll go out and then I'll.
I want to be able to hear what she has to say.
All right.
I did this for Margie and Donna Candace. Thank you, Ash Brown. I did this for Margie, Donna Candace, Summer, and anybody else that's being victimized. And, this is happening to them. I agree. If it happened.
Victims? You know who the victims are, Daisy. You know exactly who the victims are. Dawn's stepsisters. Summer is a victim. I don't know. Summer's a victim of someone taking her. I'm not necessarily saying SA because we don't have any proof of that.
To her, she told her story. Okay, she got it out there. But it's one thing right after another. And now that she's saying this about Don's other little girl, the only daughter he's got left, it's not right. We're going to keep it respectful.
Yes, Heather, the boys are a victim. So Daisy says she's going to keep it respectful. Let's see.
And we're not. And listen, there's another creator that I liked a whole lot who is sticking his nose in and bashing us. I've seen him in other chats talking about the juvenile courts and the CPS and all this other shit. It's a lie. CPS.
So she's talking about Don B here. And the reason she's talking about Don B here is because Don B has a brain.
This is not going to talk to you. Juvenile court's not going to talk to you. Law enforcement's not going to talk to you. You're sitting there behind your desk, behind your computer screen, on your ace, making this shit up. We all know you're making it up, okay? And so just stop, okay? I don't want to call you out. You harassed Candace horrifically to where she had to take you to court. Yes, I'm going to call you out on that because you did.
Daisy, you have drank the Kool-Aid. You have drank the Donald Candace Wells Kool-Aid.
So please stop.
It was Jeannie who was 5. Yeah. Jeannie was 5, yes. Until she was 12, he was, yeah.
You're bullshit.
Did I use
nobody?
Did I say it was Mary earlier?
He believes that shit. Thank you, Hash Brown. Thank you. And I'm sorry, but you came after us first. We were friends with you, and you turned your back on us. And now you are mad because we're taking up for Dawn and Candace. You don't know shit. I've not seen you up there one time at a prayer vigil. I've not seen you pass flyers out. I ain't seen you do anything but sit behind your computer desk in your car phone and run your mouth. If you're going to run your mouth, show proof. Because I don't believe for a freaking minute that CPS, law enforcement, or juvenile court is talking to you.
Daisy, what's your proof? What's your proof? What's your proof about Don's ex-wife? What's your proof? She says she knows this hasn't happened, that he's never essayed anybody.
I don't know about that, Karen. I love you, Karen, but I don't think he did. I didn't see it. He searched for Candace. That's what he did. He followed her every damn where. Sorry, but not sorry. Go ahead, Christine.
Okay, are we ready, y'all?
We're ready.
Okay, tell me, make sure, if you can't hear me, stop me and I'll figure something else out. You ready?
Okay, so what we're about to hear is allegedly, I don't know, I haven't been able to verify it. I'm assuming it's supposed to be Donald Wells's ex-wife.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, can you say who you are?
Okay. Huh?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, hang on. Let me put it right here. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
Let me make sure my volume's turned all the way up. And it is.
You know who I'm talking about?
Huh?
Somebody said he searched at a water hole. Do you know who I'm talking about? Because I've never seen him search. The only thing I've seen him do is sit behind a computer screen and behind a phone in his vehicle driving around, talking like he knows what
You don't know what he's done? You don't know what he's done?
he's talking about. Sorry, go ahead. We're getting myself in trouble. Go ahead.
I'm letting you vent. Okay, you ready? Now,
We ain't seen you actually done anything because you've never turned your camera on.
tell me if you can hear this or not.
Okay.
So, all right, can you say who you are?
I'm Venmo Wells.
Okay. And Daisy, go ahead and ask her the question. Now that I'm starting the recording right now.
Okay. Pam, people are at your arrest.
So this is Pam, who is Donald Wells's ex-wife, allegedly.
Dawn, that's like your daughter at a young age, and I just want you to speak for her. You already spoke to her a while ago, so is there something you want to tell her? Dawn has never done anything bad to my kids.
Okay, so she says Dawn has never done anything bad to her kids. Anything bad to her kids. Her 15 kids. Obviously, they're not all by Donald. But you don't know that. You don't know that. Dawn said what did he say? She took it like a champ, or she never, yeah, literally 15 kids.
Me and him, when we got our divorce back in 2015, we left as friends. Don has never done nothing bad to me, and I've never done nothing bad to him, and I would never do anything bad to him. And you said that Monty is a daddy's girl, right? Yes, she's a daddy's girl. She was telling me one time, "Oh, I'm a daddy's girl," and I said, "Well, why are you always with Mama?" And she said, "Well, I'm a daddy's girl," and I said, "Yeah, I know you're a daddy's girl." She said, "Johnny is a Mama's boy." He said, "No, I ain't." And she said, "Then whose boy are you?" He said, "I'm Grandma's boy."
Hey, the boys are always mama boys, always.
So Pam is saying that Dawn's other daughter is a daddy's girl.
And the girls are always daddy's girls. That's because we know how to work our dads, don't we?
I've never done nothing to Marty at all. And I'm telling you now that I know for a fact that Donnie never molested Margie.
She knows for a fact that Dawn has never, I can't even say it, done anything to his other daughter. She knows for a fact. Jack, you got 15 kids. How the hell what is this, 19 kids and counting? Dawn calls the woman real smart and says that they have heads like computers and that they can solve Summer's case. These are flattering words that have created Dawn Wells devotees. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dawn has a criminal mind. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I really don't. But Daisy has a very simplified mind. She's just a country girl, and I'm not saying anything, but I think she's just more simple. And he knows how to manipulate them. Very easy. Very, very easy.
And how does Margie feel about what people are saying?
I mean, if you can manipulate Daisy into thinking that Candace's sister has always been alive, or that she raised from the dead, and she goes live about it, and you still prove it to her that it's like not possible, and she chooses not to believe it, that is ignorance. After you show someone, you prove it to them. That is when after you prove it to someone and they choose not to believe it, like solid proof in front of her face. I connected all the dots for her. After that, it just becomes ignorance, willful ignorance.
What some YouTubers are saying that they're saying that.
Thank you, my love. Appreciate it.
I know you talked to her about it.
She was mad. I know she said right now she can't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's because she's so upset.
Yeah.
About it. But when she calms down, she'll come home and tell you about it.
So Dawn's other daughter is supposed to come forward, but she's not right now, allegedly, because she's so mad, according to Pam. But when she calms down, she said she'll come forward. I don't know who Pam. I know Pam is Dawn's ex-wife, but I don't know her voice. This may not even be Pam. I don't know. Because like I said, I've never heard her voice. Don't know. She could be manipulated into, this may not even actually be a Pam.
There you go. You hear it?
Play the part what she said about Mary saying that she tried to buy Margie. Can you play that?
Do what?
Where she said that was a lie, that Mary said that she tried to buy Margie.
Oh, yeah, I can get that. Hang on. All right, let me put you on pause so I can fast forward. We talked a long time, so.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on there, but some things we just don't know. This is Pam Wells, Don's ex-wife, the mother of Don's oldest daughter, Margie, who has 2 children, and they love their grandfather, and she loves her dad. She's a daddy's girl. And so we called her, and she talked to us for a long time. Yeah.
So there has been accounts by a couple different sources that Don has tried to sell his kids, and we'll keep listening.
And Margie.
But I think this is Margie. Hold on, let me just play it. Oops.
Is very aware of this and very upset because this has been said about her. Yeah, Jillian, it's very scary. Margie even said that she didn't think Candace or Don had anything to do with Summer. She said she don't know what happened, but she knows that they didn't have nothing to do with that baby going missing.
Okay. How does anyone know that Don or Candace 100% has no idea that they had nothing to do with it? Because I don't have, damn it, I keep dropping my phone. I don't have 100% chance for anything that they did it or that they didn't do it. My basket is, yeah, they probably did, because I've been to Ben Hill Road and there's no way in hell anybody went up there in 2 minutes and ran down with a little girl and hopped in a car or an ATV and went up a damn hill. And she, no, 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 it's too much. The parents are too high risk. The area itself is not a high risk at all. I stood on Ben Hill Road, literally stood on Ben Hill Road for 1 hour. Guess how many cars passed? This many. A big fat 0. You will miss Ben Hill Road if you don't know it's there. It's a dead end. All right, Karen. It's a dead end road.
And she said that they're grieving themselves to death over that baby. She said that Don was good to all them kids.
All right, you ready?
Don was good to all them kids. Yeah, get right on that.
Yeah.
Don's not even good to himself.
All right. Yeah.
But when she calms down, she'll come on and tell you about it.
Okay. And what does she think about Mary saying all that? Why does she think Mary is lying? Or why do you think Mary's lying?
So they're flat out saying that Mary's lying. Flat out saying that Miss Mary's lying. She's a victim.
Mary,
And Don's admitted it about Jeannie.
Mary said I was trying to sell her my kids when more you were like 2, but I never tried to sell my kids to nobody.
So, in my opinion, Pam has, I don't know of anyone who's probably, that's going to admit that they were probably, in my opinion, cracked out at the time and admit that, oh yeah, I tried to sell my kid. It's not a good look. It's definitely not a good look you want to go telling people about. But so that's probably why she's taking up for Don in that area. How was Don good to his older kids when he wasn't even around them growing up and he was put in jail? Yeah. Running coke from Mexico. Good job, Dad. How about the Daisy Lady Dog singer? I don't know about that.
I have 15 kids.
Wow.
Told ya. Wasn't lying. She has 15 kids.
So there you go. She never sold her stuff, never tried to sell.
She told us something not so good about Mary, but we're not going to disclose that.
She says she has 15 kids. Holy hell. Second of all, Daisy says, well, she's told us things about Mary, but we're not going to say it. That right there is a manipulation tactic. That right there is saying, well, we have something over Mary's head that we're not going to tell you about, but we know it. It's a threat. And I wouldn't believe it anyways, probably.
Because we're not here to bash Mary. But Mary ain't the angel that we all think she is, guys. Don's told me stuff.
None of us are angels, and none of us are claiming to be angels. Nobody here is claiming to be an angel. But I don't believe Mary has ever A, murdered, or B, SA'd anybody at any age. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say those two things that Mary has not done. Now, Dawn has admitted it. that he SA'd. Now, murder, that's a different story. Don is, we don't know that he's ever murdered or even hurt anybody physically, really.
That he said he could say it, but he chooses not to say it out of respect, and that right there shows character. But yes, it did. No, this didn't come from Mary. This came from Pam.
This is Pam talking. This is Marty.
Yeah, Don's got great character. Great character.
Oh, she's got adopted kids. She's took care of a lot of kids, and she still is a foster parent. Yeah. So if anybody tries to come after her or be said bad things about her,
Don's told me stuff. Old Mr. Honesty himself. Exactly coexist. Exactly. Don runs through devotees like water down the spout. This new batch will be out their behinds in due time. I was thinking the same thing, Jesse, to be quite honest with you. This is just Don's new victims. That's all it is Don's new victims. And she'll learn.
She told us stuff that we could disclose about Mary, but we're not going to. I pray all these who have lied on these people are sued for slander. Exactly. And Margie's going to talk to us as soon as she calms down and talks with her husband, because her husband don't want her on social media, Don said. But she wants to get out here and tell us the truth too. And this is horrible that her step aunt brought this out on social media about her. And it's not right. It's wrong. Because we know for a fact they're very close to this day. Him and his daughter. Guys, a lot of the stuff people are talking about is not true.
Has anyone ever heard of Don talking about any other kids than his boys and Summer? I mean, I don't necessarily, watch everything, about Summer on YouTube, but I've never heard it.
Just what little time we have been talking to Don, we found out a lot of the stuff he's been very truthful about.
Yep.
And
that Don's been very truthful about. Yes, when I think of Don, the first thing that pops into my mind is truthful.
Candace ain't the mean person that everybody has portrayed her to be. No, she's a very sensitive person.
She is.
She's a very quiet person and a very sensitive. I heard Mary say she wanted the baby girl, but you never mentioned the boy, Don's older son. Yeah, she mentions the boy on here.
Listen, they are only showing the side that they want you to see, Miss Daisy. That's it. That's all they're doing.
Here, yeah, a lot, but we don't.
She's his kid. She did not try to sell her kids to Mary.
Yeah, she said she never did.
Never.
Yeah.
And you heard it. Yeah, I just did. I'll play it again. You want? Let's see.
Let me tell you something, guys. Listen, it's not true. I'm not going to put out there what she said about Mary, but let's just say this, that what she said about buying them kids are absolutely not true.
No.
We could put it out there because she didn't tell us we couldn't.
How do you know that? Because someone says it makes it 100% not true? 100%.
I'm just not going to do that. I respect.
No.
Yeah, Don's liberal.
Because they're doing stuff like that doesn't mean we have to.
Exactly. But I'm telling you right now, this woman is telling the truth. And Don knows stuff about Mary that he's not said anything about, just out of respect for her.
And there it goes again. Daisy saying, and Don knows stuff about Mary that he hasn't put it out there. Trust me. Don puts everything out there. Everything. Pretty much everything. If he knows something, he would have said it.
He's told us, and we've not said anything either. So
and you're using that as a manipulation tactic.
I really wish that she would stop, her and the two others that's pushing it. Like, stop clouding.
I remember that, Just a Girl. Yeah, he said Hunter's sister had a hot body, and she was a flat out child.
Summer's case with this.
It shouldn't. This stuff should not be out here, you guys. We shouldn't even have to be having a talk with Margie's mom to straighten it out, and we shouldn't have to be talking to Margie to straighten it out because this is not right. But they feel like they have to speak up because they don't want to be thought of that way, and they don't want their dad being thought of that way, and that's not right, you guys. It's just not right.
Mm-hmm.
So here, I started it over if you want to listen to.
Yep, a body from hell. A body from hell is what he said. She does, because she's very manipulated is what it is. Hey girl.
You want to play it again? You want to play it again?
Yeah. There's a lot we can't say, guys, that we're keeping quiet out of respect. But we know a lot more than what.
They know a lot more that they wanted to tell everyone in their chat room, and the thousands of people that watch. They know a lot more, but they don't want you to know, but they want Jeannie and Mary to know. Thank you, Lita Live. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. Manipulation.
Ready?
Go ahead.
So, all right, can you say who you are?
I'm Venmo Wells.
Okay. And Daisy, go ahead and ask her the question. Now that I'm starting the recording right now.
Tell me, does this woman's voice sound familiar? She said she was Delma Wells or something. Does it sound familiar, or is it just me?
Go ahead.
So, all right, can you say who you are?
I'm Venmo Wells.
Okay.
Their own dad admitted to having an ancestral relationship with his younger stepdaughter. I think you're right, Karen Bass.
And Daisy, go ahead and ask her the question. Now that I'm starting the recording right now.
Okay. Pam, people are out here alleging that Dawn saved your daughter at a young age. And I just want you to speak to her. You already spoke to her a while ago. So.
Thank you, Lita.
Is there something you want to tell her? Dawn has never done anything bad to my kids. Me and him, when we got our divorce back in 2015, we left as friends. Dawn has never done nothing bad to me, and
I think I might have.
Nothing bad to him, and I would never do anything bad to him. And you said that Fonzie is a daddy's girl, right? Yeah, she's a daddy's girl.
I think hold on.
That's just being out of respect. We're not going to play that. But I've cut out most of that until you get more towards the end, which I know where to stop it if you want me to finish playing some of it.
If you want to, as long as it don't disclose too much.
Okay.
So Josh from the lab put it out last night on his live. Mary was in there. Don went in there to defend himself and was pretty much laughed at, mocked, and treated like crap. He asked for proof. I seen what was going on. I didn't go into his chat. I did call Don. Don, he was upset, but he wasn't like.
So Daisy, she puts it out there that. Thank you, Drakey. Thank you, man. Thank you, love. Navy Vet, TKU turning the screen. Thank you, bud. That Josh and us creators antagonize Don to go nuts and to bring him into the room as if he has no self-control as a human being. He doesn't have to watch any of us. He doesn't have to listen to any of us.
I mean, like, ferociously mad. He was just upset because he asked Josh respectfully to show him proof, and Josh pretty much just gaslighted him. He didn't.
And that's why he didn't show proof, because Don knows there is no proof.
Gaslighted, that word is so overused, it annoys me.
And Mary was in there taunting him as well. Listen, if you're a victim of SA, you're not going to do that stuff.
Taunting? You think little Mary is taunting Don? No. That's not Mary's style.
I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm just saying, okay, so then he was in there, he was saying, I've got proof. And now he's saying Mary was the proof. So somehow Mary is the one saying this, in my opinion. Because he left a comment on my last live saying that it came from Mary. What is her agenda?
Hold on one second. I got to check something. 1 second. Somebody sent something. Oh, Navy Vet, thank you so much for gifting 20 membership. Thank you. Thank you so much, my love. That's so kind of you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little raspy. I woke up with almost no voice this morning.
I know, she's got a channel and she's had a lot of support from some big creators.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You actually speak the truth, and the abuser, which in my opinion is Don, always says there, and Don literally said on the lab that Jeannie was 5, he was like 13, 14 years old, and also when he was 19, and he said he was the victim. Literally, that came out of his mouth. He said he was the victim, not the 5-year-old. He was.
I'm not saying that, but there's been a lot of stories about Dawn come out of her mouth, and she needs to back up it with truth if she's going to do it, because Donna Candace is getting tired of it. Mm-hmm. And this right here is just going too far. Exactly, they're lying, but I'm not. Listen. Pam.
Yeah, they're just misinterpreting what Don said. Don didn't R his daughter. Don essayed the stepsister. Don said Margie was R'd by Pam's oldest son. That is correct.
Told us why Mary wouldn't have tried to buy her daughter. We're not going to go there, but let's just say there's a good reason.
Exactly. Don said Jeannie initiated the essay. She was 5.
And I'm not going to put that out there. I'm just take our we don't want to attack anybody. I'm just saying, don't believe.
You don't want to attack anybody. You dipshit.
Everything you hear just because it comes from somebody that claims to be a ex-law enforcement, because there's been some stuff happen in that situation that I don't want to talk about, but could actually be talked about.
What? What, Daisy? You couldn't shine Chris's shoes.
I'm just saying, this is not true. This should have never been said about his daughter. I'm tired of the lies on Donna Candace. Now that we've been...
Sorry, I screamed. I just wanted to make it clear that she was 5.
And, getting to know them and stuff, we were seeing it come out.
Pisses me off.
People just randomly make up lies.
And a lot of people at the beginning said that they were emotionless. Well, we've seen them emotional, and they're not emotionless. They
just cried on the live the other night.
They try to be tough because of the ridicule that they are getting, and they do not want to.
They try to be tough over the ridicule that they're getting. They have never, ever that I'm aware of, since Summer has went missing, behaved like parents with a missing child does. Like Brandy. She's pounding the pavement. Flyers everywhere. She calls the police every day. You could ask Don and Candace, when's the last time you called the police? Well, they got my number. They can call me. You know what Brandy says? Tyler says? I talk to him every day. At least one time a day. You know what Candace says? I'm going to have to push Summer aside and focus on my boys. That is not normal. And it's not normal for anyone in Hawkins County, and the sheriff has said this himself, for them to be anyone kidnapped the way Summer was.
Show any kind of anything, because
Supposedly kidnapped, allegedly.
Twisted in the wrong way every single time. So their guard is up, and they do not want, when you are crying over somebody, that is something that's a personal thing.
This is just stroking his ego and petting them. That's all it is. It's making excuses.
And for them to come out and try to do something personal, you can forget it. Forget it.
No, Miss Chewy, that's not. It's not. This is what I'm guessing. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but Josh claims.
Celeste, thank you so much for becoming a member, my love. Thank you so much. Does parents of a missing child, do they make prank phone calls and think this is hilarious and laugh at people? Does parents of a missing child, when people go to Hawkins County, he says he'll meet them, but yet he stands them up multiple places?
He's got records of a CPS report. This is what I think Josh has. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what I think. I think Mary at some point got mad at Don and called in a false report on Don over his daughter. Look.
You don't know that. And I don't think that happened. In fact, Don said that the report was between Allie. They would call on each other all the time.
Because, which Don don't know anything about, nor Pam, but Mary allegedly is the one who made this report. It was never anything but a report, if it was even a report. So, and then, guys, I tried to be nice here and not say a whole lot.
Don't lose it, Stevie.
Guys, if Trevor wants to come up, just please put it in chat so I can see it.
I'm not.
What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do?
I know, but let me tell you something. I seen the text between Don. Actually, Don sent them to us. The text between Don and Josh, and there was some manipulation there, and there was some
blackmail.
In my opinion.
No.
So I'm not going to put them out there because we've never asked Don, and I wouldn't do that anyway. But he's going about it the wrong way. Maybe Mary, she's had this agenda against Don all this time. Who's to say back in the time that she could pick up the phone and make a
What's not normal, little mix, is trying to talk to those people, and they run you all over town, say that they'll talk to you, and won't even come to the bottom of the hill. That's what's not normal.
A false, I'm just saying, in my opinion, call that was never even brought to anybody's attention because it wasn't true. They didn't have no, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and anyway, even if there's a report that way, Margie is an adult. She is a grown woman, and she is saying that it is not true, and to stop saying that.
There's that as well. Everyone at both vigils said if Dawn and Candace come, leave them be. They are welcome there. And they was. And I was at the vigil, one of the vigils, and they never showed up. But let me tell you what. A girl who used to kind of babysit Summer and all that, she was there. A young under 18, and I think she was under 18. And she cried harder and felt more heart that I have seen than Dawn or Candace has ever cried combined, publicly at least, that I'm aware of.
She's asking her, what does she call it, stepping it? To
Who?
stop. To Margie. Margie, that's what, a step aunt Mary is to Margie?
I guess.
Whatever she is Margie is asking Mary to stop. Stop, because it's not true. So stop it.
Stop.
That's what she's asking. Stop.
Listen, if you have an agenda with Dawn, keep that agenda to yourself, or do what you've already put it out there. Why do you keep?
She contradicts herself all the time. She's like, leave Dawn alone. But if you have something with Dawn, leave it with Dawn. Leave Dawn alone. Well, hello.
Bringing up stuff and saying stuff and implicating stuff. You know?
Stop bringing other people into it. If you have an issue with Don and you say he did something, that's between you two. But don't bring other people into it. Margie did not ask for this, and that's between anybody else. Your case is your case.
Hey, Maris.
That's up to you. But you can't be bringing other people into it. Margie is really, really mad. She is upset. She doesn't want to talk to anyone right now because she is ticked off, and she's asked for you to stop. Stop it.
And Josh and Chris M.
She's asking to stop nicely.
If whatever happened between Dawn and Mary, let that be between Dawn and Mary. Let's not put this in Summer's case.
Right.
Why do they have to keep dragging that into Summer's case? Let law enforcement take care of it.
It is not part of Summer's case. It is beside Summer's case. They called the next day after Summer Wells went missing because they knew what kind of person their stepbrother is. That their child went missing. They didn't say Dawn did it. They didn't say Candace did it. But they said, listen, we know who our stepbrother is. And he messed with Jeannie when she was 5. He admitted it. Both things can work side by side.
It's true, but I think a lot of it is, I don't know. I don't care. That's between her and Dawn. They're both grown adults. But to me, it just seems like
Maris, if you want to come up, just let me know.
Like she's got this agenda against him, and she keeps making things up, in my opinion. And no, I don't think so.
That she's making it up. Everyone, yeah. Like anyone wants to say publicly on a public platform that this has happened to them.
No, I don't think Mark.
It's complete bullshit.
Talks to Mary. I don't think she talks to her at all. You know, and so it just is what it is. Like I am all for SA victims, but I'm telling you right now.
You're all for SA victims? You're an SA victim, Daisy. I don't know how old you was. Like I said, I have sympathy for anyone, but being an SA victim, it takes a particularly as a child, it takes something away from you that can never be returned, ever.
A true SA victim would not be in a chat taunting and making up stories about innocent girls that are not true.
I'm an SA victim, and so are you, Daisy. And I know that that is not right. Morally, ethically, it is not right to do that. No. And I don't care what the agenda is. I don't care what any...
That's true. Dawn was in jail, but Candace wasn't. She didn't come.
How much hate somebody has for another person, you do not bring in someone who has nothing to do with whatever disagreement that you've had with somebody else.
If you all think about it, if you guys think about it, the beginning of this case started off with Chris M. and his agenda.
There was no agenda. The only agenda there was for Chris was to be of service.
And he even talked, like, at first that he was taking up for Don and Candace. And then Don smarted off to him and hurt his feelings.
So
Hurt his ego.
So she says that the reason Chris, she says that Chris was taking up for Don and Candace in the beginning, but Don said something and it hurt his ego. No, it didn't happen. That did not happen. Chris went there to be of service, and that was it. Now, once you kind of see, you're doing your first interview on the news, and your eyes are, you guys are so drunk and on God knows what, and then you get to that house and you see it, that this little girl's living in a dungeon, and then these sisters come out, and then Dawn says, Chris asks, well, what do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer? And Dawn says, well, I don't know. Well, Chris says, you think they should go to prison? Oh, I've been to prison. I don't think I could. Prison's rough. I don't think I could ever wish that on anybody. Listen, somebody does that to my kids, I want them in prison hanging up under their freaking toes. Any parent would.
Big people like that get their egos. They get big egos. This is my opinion. This is all.
Oh, Marissa, sorry. Hey, girl.
Wow, you're on fire tonight.
I'm pissed.
What triggered you off?
Daisy.
Who's Daisy?
Crazy crime country down on the farm.
I've never heard of these people. Were they around when I was alive down there?
Daisy's a channel, and she's talking.
Did they exist when I was in Rogersville?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Because I never heard of this channel ever.
Yeah, well, you're listening to them.
Okay. What is, and where do they stand? Are they
kissing Don's ass?
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do these people kiss Don's ass? Can you explain that to me in a nutshell? What's their reasoning? Do you know?
Because Don's a sweet, good guy.
Well, he's got a huge rap sheet, and I have to, from what I know, allegedly, he used to shower with this 5-year-old beautiful little girl who had rotting teeth, who survived on candy and dollar store Celeste frozen pizzas. This poor little girl who had 3 other sibling boy playmates. God knows what was going on in that home that was rat infested, roach infested, no doors on the walls, CPS all over the place at any given time. He was not a good person. He was a drug addict. He was an alcoholic, and he was a child abuser. How is he a good guy again?
Oh, they don't believe any of that.
Oh, they don't believe that. Well, I know this. The only reason I say this is because he's been in jail.
Check.
Jail. I mean, this isn't allegedly, but he has served in a federal jail. And not only that, but there's been witnesses that he has, and claims from his own family and co-workers, that he has physically committed many crimes against children and his own sister and niece, and he should be punished.
Okay, Juju. Thank you.
Okay, so I was just trying to give people a refresher on who Mr. Don Wells is. I'm surprised he hasn't been skinned alive down there.
Well, I mean, he actually admitted that he did this to his sister Jeannie when she was 5 years old. He said she enticed him, or I think
Okay,
that's the word he used.
and when a man says that he is enticed by a child, a person like that, factually, they can never be rehabilitated.
No, that's the reason that's the reason we have the SEX offender.
Registry list, yeah.
Yes,
This man,
because they cannot be rehabilitated.
yeah, there's nothing sexy about a child, Dawn. There's no reason why you should be sleeping with your 5-year-old daughter, Dawn. Your beautiful daughter. You want to know
Yeah.
something? Out of all these victims, you want to know something? All we have are pictures and very little videos
I'm texting Trevor right now.
of poor little Summer in church, and we can only wonder why she had her head shaven and why she was grabbing herself and why the church was filming her. They had no problem filming her and putting it out there on the web. Sure had a problem with me for a split second having one of their children on my YouTube channel when I was called a liar, that I sat next to Crazy Bitch and her daughter, right? I mean, that world headlines, holy shit. And then the woman, Robin Lane, lied to the police, trying to make it out as if I was trying to, oh, yes, this is factual. This is how crazy this is.
Didn't Daisy used to talk bad about Don until yes, Daisy used to talk bad about Don, but she was convicted. She was convicted and she needed to fix her sins, I guess.
Just remember that Robin Lane, not only was she, not only does she claim to be this big Christian, but she lied to the police. Nobody ever said anything. And it wasn't until about a month ago, Justin, that I actually came across a news report where I put two and two together of why the Kingsport police had said to me, yeah, she lied straight to the police. And I put it two together. No wonder why the cop said, oh, I could see why you would get, the same height, blonde hair, the two mixed up. I remember thinking back, what the fuck is this guy talking about? She told the police that I was plotting to kidnap her daughter.
What?
You did look it up on the internet, Justin. You can do a whole video on Robin Lane being a Christian and lying to the police.
For fuck's sake.
I just recently found that. I had no idea that they made a news thing saying that the YouTuber, me, put up a video, took it down that morning. I took it down, figured it was up there long enough, right? And because the hater people were saying, you're a liar, you weren't sitting next to Robin Lane. So yeah, well, look, the bitch sitting right there. She calls the police. It makes headlines, and they said that, oh, Robin Lane claims that this YouTuber had plans to kidnap her child.
That's crazy. Crazy. All right, we're gonna continue this.
Yeah, I don't even know who this crazy pants was. I just want to know what set you off to. Tell me specifically what she said, so that
we're going over a video of her saying that Mary, who is a sweet woman, Don's stepsister, and
is that the daughter that was also essayed?
Say that again.
Is Mary the sister that also had the daughter, the niece?
No, that's Jeannie. Jeannie was the one that was essayed at Wasn't that Jeannie? I think it was Jeannie. Not Jeannie. Well, Jeannie's the 5-year-old that was essayed by Don, and Mary was essayed too.
I have to wonder when I gotta get out of this genre of true crimes. If we're gonna have like people watching us and supporting us, and our viewers are gonna be like siding with pedophiles and thinking that pedophiles are good,
Language.
just
Say pedo.
pedos, like our genre is gonna be mixed up, and I don't want to have connections with people that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that our corner, like
I will never, ever support anyone that supports a fucking pedo.
In my opinion. And then the whole Mary thing, and then the cooking show, and my opinion, things happen to be a lot. Some people like a lot of tension, in my opinion. I wish they would just stop saying anything about Summer's parents. If it's not 100% proven and pertains directly to Summer's disappearance, then they need to quit and stop spreading opinions. Exactly.
There you go. Boom. Drop the mic.
Exactly. Some of us SA victims never talk about it to anyone. I've still not confronted mine yet.
And I only talk about mine because I want to help other people.
Yeah, I'm just like.
But I never drag anybody else into what's happened to me. I don't speak for other people.
We need to focus on Summer's case.
Well, nobody's dragging anybody in. I mean, Mary and Jeannie, they've, talked about it. Jeannie hasn't really went a whole lot, she's done it privately, talked about it. But that's it. And
that's what Donna Candace wants. That's all they want. That's what they said. It needs to be about Summer. Quit clouding this up.
Well, then go search for your daughter.
Thank you.
Go act like you care.
Thank you.
How about that?
Keep it simple, Justin. Keep it simple and real.
Everything else. And all these allegations about Don and,
They're not allegations. He freaking admitted it. He admitted it. That's the thing. It's not an allegation if you admit it, Daisy.
My God, do these people think that we want to sit here and talk about this?
Oh my God.
Don't you think we want to talk about something better?
I just want to bash my head in the wall right now.
What? I don't want to talk about Don. I don't want to talk about Dre. I want to talk about something inspiring.
Yes. To sit there. Oh, he's a good guy. Oh, she was 5 years old. He was 14. He was just a horny old boy.
That's disgusting.
Ridiculous.
His precious other daughter, he only has one daughter left. And to say something like that is just ridiculous.
It's horrific.
And Josh wants to talk about credibility of Pam. Well, Josh needs to look at credibility of Mary.
Well, Pam is Marty's mother.
Exactly.
Not somebody who's not even related.
Mary's a victim, and you believe a victim. Period. You believe them, especially you believe them, particularly whenever this person has admitted it.
Yes. When they admit, yes.
At all.
Well, not blood-wise anyway. We did ask Pam what she thought, the reason why that she is going after Don so hard, and she seems to think that it. Should I tell her? No, okay. Okay. If Summer was found today, she would not get to go back to the.
Oh, you should have said that. You should have said that.
Candace. I don't know, Zen. I don't know. We don't know that. We're not CPS. And I'm telling you right now, these creators that says they're talking to CPS and claim they've talked to law enforcement, and they've talked to juvenile court, and they've done this and they've done that. They've not done it. That's a bunch of bullshit. All you're doing is sitting behind your ass on a computer. That's what you're doing.
She sounds, whoever this woman is, she sounds very ignorant. Doesn't she?
Very simple. And she's like, well, you just sit behind a computer or you sit in your car. She's talking about Don B. I like Don B. And at least he sits behind a computer with a camera and he's not afraid to show his face.
Family, get out of here.
Daisy doesn't even show her face.
No,
Or your truck or whatever. Makes me mad. I'm sorry, but I'm done. Does Josh have credibility after selling someone's content? That true?
Wait till she says about me in a minute. It's so funny.
I don't know anything about that. That I don't know. All I know is, it's just ridiculous the way that it was attacked. That Don was attacked last night, and it upsets Don, and Josh knows it, and that's why he does it. I think he provokes Don to come into his chat.
Does anyone think that you want to be on the side of parents who are their kids are missing, and we normally are. We're normally on the side. We're always on the side of the victim. Always on the side of the victim. And usually the parents are victims as well.
Yes, the side
but
of right.
when they have this behavior and the way they act and the way that they continue to act to this very day, the mother, Candace, says, oh, I feel like they're interrogating me again.
I have a feeling, Justin. It just came to me.
What?
I have a feeling we're going to know what happened to Summer at the end of this year. Or maybe the beginning of next year.
I hope you're right.
Here, I think in about a year we're going to know what happened to Summer.
I hope you're right.
I think it's going to take a year. Because you want to know something?
What?
If Don got out of jail and never fucking came to social media, none of this shit would be happening. By the way, did he raise the money for whatever the hell he wanted money for? Did anybody for him? Did he get that $10,000 he wanted? What was it, for an attorney or something?
No, he never got it.
Yeah, he never came on social media, if he never would have came back to YouTube, he could have just slid under the radar just like Kansas did. Am I right or am I wrong? Think about it.
He thinks this is the only way in their mind to help Summer.
They already got.
Go look. Go. And your wife won't even talk to anybody. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm more suspicious of Candace than I am Dawn, because she won't talk to anybody. She's afraid she's going to slip. And Grandis, she dropped off the face of the earth.
We know that Don is a big, huge piece of shit on his own. He was there that day. Kansas was at all.
Maybe not.
Remember, Candace was with a 15-year-old boy. Candace was the last one to see her alive. Remember that. And remember, Allie saw her that day. Something happened to Summer. Candace knows. Candace knows she's got away with it already. She's gonna play dumb. It's easy for her. Dumb as rocks.
She just cries and says, I feel like they're interrogating me.
Yeah. Dumb bitch. I don't like
panel and arguing and cussing. That brings content, that brings viewers. People like the drama. They like to hear Don get mad, and I think that's exactly what he does. I think he tries to lure Don up on his panel and in his chat.
First of all, you don't have to lure Don in your chat. He comes in your chat, and nobody gives a crap if Don comes up on their panel or not.
Okay.
Like Josh says, if you want to, you want to, and if you don't, don't.
Yeah.
And he uses Mary because Mary upsets Don. Because of all
Nobody uses Mary to upset
the other
Don.
allegations that's been said. Now listen, guys, I'm not taking up for SA person at all, but Don and Mary both were children. Yeah, he was 12, she was 5, but they were both children.
And Don says she enticed him and that he's the victim. He said this, what, a week ago on the lab?
You know, guys, I could have, at 12 years old, that tried to touch me, that I could have gotten in trouble, but I never said anything about, because some boys at that age are hormonal.
There you go. She just made an excuse for Don. She says, do you know how many boys
enabler
did this to me that I could have got in trouble?
She's so gross.
Gross.
That's a
gross. And making excuses for Don because he's a boy. Oh yeah, Mama Bear. He said that many times. Don said that about Jeannie from the beginning. Yeah. 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 Don can't talk anymore on YouTube. You know that, Marissa?
No, why?
Because he just went to his court date and there's the gag order, and they told him to finally shut up or else.
Oh, I guess Dolly has to jerk off on his own then, huh? Circle jerk, huh?
Well, it's talking about crazy crime critters. There. I mean, Dolly's not a 10th compared to what Crazy Crime Critters is.
I don't know that channel.
Well, they make every excuse. Dolly just talks to him. They make excuses for him. There's a difference.
It's right, but I'm just saying he wasn't a grown man. Exactly.
He wasn't 12. He was 12. He wasn't a grown man. What about when he was a grown man and did it? What about when he was 19 years old? He just got out of jail. The very night he crawls in bed with one of his his stepsisters. The sister comes running out into the parents' bedroom saying, "I can't do this anymore." What about those times, Daisy?
Nasty.
Yes, exactly. He was 19. What about those times? Find an excuse for that, won't you?
So, she was very, very young. Yes, I'm not saying it's right at all, but I'm saying he was 12. And Don came from an abusive family as well, And I don't think he was treated too good by his stepmom either. So, there wasn't a whole lot of guidance there in the first place. Yeah, he was 12. So I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying that it needs to stop. Mary's putting her, let's focus on.
You're not saying it's okay. You're just making excuses, right?
Summer. Whatever's to be between Mary and.
Trying to play both sides of those fence, aren't you, Daisy? I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just going to sit here and making excuses for him. And how many guys you could have gotten, you said with your own words, in trouble.
Don's case is between Mary and Don and the law. But let's not bring it in on Summer's case and then start pulling her sister in on the case as well. And saying horrific stuff about his sister. Or Summer's little older sister. Who I think looks a lot like Summer, and her kids look a lot like.
They are two different things. But it also makes you wonder, when this man was a man, and still did this to his stepsisters, and she came running into the bedroom, and now the man has kids and a daughter's missing, and Candace has threatened
CPS
CPS.
with a shotgun.
Yeah. And then threatens Walmart and everything else.
Yeah.
What has she done? What has she done? I mean, my girlfriend Tana's a CPS worker. She gets these things all the time. All the time. But it's usually from really bad parents.
So, you know, so nobody's victim shaming Trevor. Nobody's victim shaming.
Watch this. Here it
at
comes.
all. You know, Trevor, let me tell you something.
Now, Trevor is my buddy. He's a good guy. He's a younger. He's like 19 or something like that. He had a charity from his friend who died that he went to high school with. He's done a lot for Summer. And Trevor was over, or maybe was over on Daisy's panel. And Trevor, he's been on here, and they've said horrible things to Trevor.
You said that you was not going to be mean or be bratty or whatever. And then last night, I other tracks, and I see you doing the same shit you've been doing all along. Okay? I know you've been on Justice for All's channel.
Oh!
You stayed in Josh's chat. You're full of shit, Trevor. If you really wanted to look for these kids, if you really wanted to be a voice for Summer, you would stop using Dawn and Candace as a way of getting attention.
What are you doing right now? Stop using Dawn and Candace as a way to get attention. You are kissing their ass.
They're home.
They're home. They're homeless.
They're home.
And you would do what you needed to do for
Trevor, how old was he? He was like 18 years old at the time or something. Trevor put $2,000 up for Summer.
That's
of his own money.
Summer, and stop fighting. But I don't believe you for 1 minute. I believe you're a snake, Trevor. I really do.
That's what Daisy likes to says. You're a snake. You're from Satan. Church lady. Good morning, Sanders.
You're a damn snake. Now go for that. And please delete his butt out of my chat, because I'm done with him.
Oh, Daisy don't like it when you talk back. Kind of like Dawn.
I don't associate with people that run around with Justice for All anyway.
Oh, Daisy. You Satan, girl. Satan. Stop it, Daisy.
Like people that run with you. Baby, we run in Dolce & Gabbana sneakers. Yeah.
Well, honey, I would run around in some vintage Reeboks before I.
Exactly, Jay. He sent me this big old long thing that he was going to do better and blah, 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 blah. And then I seen him right on over there in other people's chats going right along, talking shit about Dawn and Candace. Even said that he was going to.
Oh, talking shit about Dawn and Candace. Talking shit about Dawn and Candace. You are protective of them, Daisy. Why?
She sounds dumb.
Try to make amends with Dawn. I've got the proof. I can show you guys. And then he just goes in there and bashes Dawn and Candace. I don't deal with the devil. I'm sorry. They are. I can see a snake from a mile away.
Really now?
And Trevor, you're a young man. You need to stop what you're doing. Because it ain't nice. Okay? It's not nice.
She sounds like
she's probably small.
Billy version.
What is it?
She sounds like she's listening to me and she's trying to be the hillbilly version of me. She's saying things that I say. I know a snake when I see one. Like, I can spot a snake a million miles. Those are the things that I say. Is she trying to be the Beach Creek version of Molly Golightly? There can never be one.
No, no, that's a common saying. That's a common saying, actually.
To be in these YouTube streets doing this stuff. You could make a big
How-
difference. You have to quit.
You're
This, the whole YouTube streets. Me and Justin, we don't hang out in the YouTube streets because we live up on the hill.
I would say that.
Attacking people with no proof. I
Yeah.
understand you and Dawn had a falling out and everything, but let it go, okay? And stop with the BS, because you're not going to come in here with your BS with me. It ain't going to happen. We got Jay. He's armed and ready. That's correct, Miss Daisy. One snake hangs stuff with
Jay's a bouncer.
exactly. So it is what it is. And so, hey, we've got what we need. You know,
Daisy, you have been charmed by a snake charmer, and his name is Donald Wells. He has a criminal mind.
He's a loser.
out there out of respect for the family. He does have a lot of potential. And I knew something was up with him. And listen, I don't hang with nobody that hangs with Justice for All, because I don't trust him for anything.
Daisy, shame on you. You Satan, spawn of Satan, you.
Hear me.
Huh?
It's because Justin hangs out with me and I wouldn't let that heifer near me.
Daisy don't like anyone that gives her facts. Marissa, she was the one that said that Rose was alive, Candace's sister, and
Wow.
she's been in protective custody.
So, oh my God! You guys need a fun break? I gotta give you a fun break. Princess told me that last night at the Airbnb that they got a woman from Spain who was in the witness protection program, and she said, "I'm in the witness protection program," and I was trying to come here while something happened because I was trying to come here to make it big in the arts, and then all of a sudden people showed up like 45 minutes and then took her out. And Adrian was like, "What the fuck?" when he heard it. And she was crying. She was crying. What do you think of that? Apparently there's not a dull moment over there.
She just called me a brat. Oh, we'll get to that. Daisy, stop. I love when she does her intros. This is how she does her intros. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you. Well, hello. Hello. Coming from Miss Daisy's barn, we're gonna have a hoedown. Let's have a hoedown. Sissy, fall down. If not, I'll knock your ass down. All right. Daisy's live. Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Now, I don't particularly think a lot.
Come on, sister. You're walking over Cletus, but you're limping back. You're limping back, Cletus. Walk it off, sis. Walk it off.
Hey, Justin.
You know they get in fights all the time. Those two sisters. And be boomeranging them. What?
Did you hear what happened in Mallory's chat this morning?
No.
Last night I doxed that picture of that butch that sent the crackheads to Quentin Simon's protest at the house, right? People were doxing the shit out of there was a t-shirt of
You dox someone?
I didn't know who it was at first, but there was a picture of like
What do you mean by dox?
well, I don't know if it was a dox, but I saw a picture of a dude.
Did you give her address out?
No,
Okay.
I didn't even know it was.
You put a picture out.
Yeah, it was first. It was a picture on a T-shirt, and someone going like this on the T-shirt on a dude's face, and I was like, "Who the hell is that?" And then they said, "You're not gonna believe who that is," and I said, "Who's that?" And they said, "That's the person that sent the crackheads down to the Quentin Simon's house to get you guys all heated up. And that's the dude that had, whatever, with the Ashley furniture. So I said, oh my God, I thought that was a guy. Turns out it was a woman. So check it out. We get the full face picture. So I start laughing and I put it as my I was waiting for the ads to get approved. So I put it up there on my main picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Ooh, will this help me get views? Will this help me get some clicks?" And I don't know her name or anything. What's her name? Andrew calls her the Mule. So anyway, the next day, today, what do you know? Mallory does a response and says, "Oh my God, Molly Golightly puts up a picture of that dude who came down and started all that trouble quitting Simon's house. Somebody did memberships, right? And what do you know? She collected a membership. She was in there. Embarrassing. She was in there spying. And I was like, Mallory, no. And she goes, oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I was like, now that's embarrassing.
She collected a membership.
She collected a free membership. That's mince. Yes, mince. Damn. Watching everything you mother truckers do.
Okay.
That's what it is. Thank you.
That's what it is, yeah.
At least we cleared it up. And hopefully this will clear up that Margie was not SA'd by Dawn. Was not. And that Pam never tried to sell her kids to Mary. Never.
Nope.
I think they're getting that confused that they're saying that Margie was SA'd by Dawn. And I don't believe Pam or Dawn when they say they never sold their kids or tried to sell their kids, rather, because neither one of them are going to admit that. They're just not.
And it's not.
Let them challenge me on that. Huh? Let them challenge me on that, and we'll play the other part. What we know about that.
Uh-oh.
We'll play the other part while we know for a fact that that's not true. We just ain't gonna say it out of respect, but it is what it is.
We're going to be better than. We don't have to do the same thing they're doing.
Should we let Trevor link up here? Should we let Trevor link up here? Trevor wants a link. He wants to come up here. Should we argue?
Sure.
Come on, Trevor.
He's not been on everybody else's panel. He might as well be on ours.
Come on. But I will not let you slam Donna Candace. I'll tell you that.
Because she's taken up for him.
Ew.
I will not. I'm done.
Make sure you see his face first, Daisy. He doesn't peep on you. I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying, period, like general.
Come on, Trevor.
So now Trevor's getting ready to come up.
Trevor.
Oh, loser.
I've seen you and Don B over there in Josh's chat. Running your mouth.
Ew.
So anybody that comes to my chat, Josh's chat, Chris's chat, Don's chat, we are spawns of Satan.
Can I tell you something about these people?
I have 4 pastors in my family, Daisy, and I'm an ordained minister myself.
These people right now talking.
What?
These people right now talking. These are the types of people that if Hawkins County or TBI or the FBI, if they had to sit and listen, they would be sitting back. If they were assigned, if this was their assignment, and they're like, yeah, you have to sit through this. This is where they'd be sitting back, rolling their eyes, and then being like, oh, no, God, not them. You know what? Let's bring back that Molly Golightly and Justin and Andrea. Let's bring the good ones back. Jesus Christ. None of these hillbillies. Jeez.
Hey, I'm a hillbilly.
No, you're like me. Come on.
But I'm a hillbilly.
These people make
I'm
no.
a proud Appalachian folk.
I think the feds would beg to get Benny Keys back on.
Benny's talking about it.
If,
I don't care what they say.
in fact, that Don and Candace were guilty at all, Do you not think that they would have been arrested by now? Think about that.
It's called
Okay. This is my question. She said, if Don or Candace would they have not been arrested by now? This is my question to you. After nearly 2 years, why are the parents not cleared? That is my question to you. If you can say, well, they've not been arrested, well, they've certainly not been cleared. The parents, after nearly 2 years, have not been cleared. Maybe they're working on an investigation right now. I'm sure that they are working diligently. I know that they are working on an investigation right now. And they haven't cleared the parents. And you know what? They've knocked Don's doors down, he says 10, 11 times. How many others,
Their case
Daisy?
still
How
built.
many others, Daisy, have they knocked their
Their
door down
still built.
once other than Don or Candace?
It's not a
Name
closed.
one.
Not
Name
case.
one.
It's not a closed case.
It's not a closed case, and you know that they was in Don and Candace's house while Don was in jail, and they took the safe. Do you know that, Maris?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
Don
we don't.
said they've knocked my effing door down 11 times. Whose other doors have they knocked down? I mean, I'm not taking up for Jody Sue or anybody else, but they haven't knocked their door down 10 or 11 times.
I sure want to know what's behind those walls.
Walls?
Yeah.
What do you mean walls?
On the house that he was working on in Kingsport.
Well, Summer's not behind the walls.
That'd be the safest place to put her.
She's not behind those walls. I'm telling you.
There's been known to be a lot of 2 blocks away from where I grew up. They found a woman's body behind the wall. My mom knew the guy that killed her. Ow, Tisha. He killed Tisha.
But back then, when they did it, they plastered them. Now they use drywall.
True.
Plaster is like a rock.
Yeah.
Not only that, Detective Pruitt has talked with Don extensively.
Trevor, I have to see your face if that's you, victim believer.
Daisy.
No, that's his name, victim believer.
Oh.
Come, let's see your face,
Trevor changed his name to victim believer.
Trevor, if that's you.
Oh.
Don't put him up unless he shows his face.
Don't put him up here unless I see his face. He's not going to show his face. I don't care which one. You're not showing your face, you're not coming up.
Them's the rules.
Constance, no, you're not coming up either, damn it.
Dark.
Constance, no.
Who's that?
It's a long story. Trevor, if you don't show your face, I ain't letting you up. I can't see you.
And guess what? We don't write anything in back chat anymore either, so there's nothing to steal.
We don't.
Nothing to steal in back chat.
I am not entertaining it. If you show your face, Trevor, I'll let you up.
Trevor, show your face.
Does he ever show
He's
his
an
face?
idiot.
If he wants on your panel, he's going to show you his face.
Right.
It doesn't matter what he does on us.
I don't care what he has to say. He's not going to put up here and try to say
She's
that
so
this
sad.
is not
She's acting like she's so positive.
That's all I'm asking.
Hey, Daisy.
Uh-huh.
How
One of our
you
very, 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 very trusted mods says, do not let him up.
speed up her voice?
He shows his face.
He ain't going to show his face.
Has he ever showed his face?
I don't know. I never listened.
Ever showed his face on YouTube?
Daisy, he showed his face on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Because he ain't going to show his face. He's going to
Has he ever showed his face? No? Okay,
Yeah.
so
We're up here.
what's your point,
He's
Trevor?
from.
My point?
Uh-huh.
The fact that you are judging while you sit up here and defend the people you defend.
Boom. Shot fired by Trevor.
What do you mean? Explain that to me, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So the man that you have come on your panel all the time that comes and cusses and screams has admitted to pedophilia. In case you know. I know you don't believe
No,
it because
didn't.
it keeps
Yes, he has. Yes, he has, Daisy.
saying
Okay.
they're not real. It doesn't matter.
How old was Don when that happened? You tell me.
It doesn't matter how old he was. He
He
did it.
was a child. Do you think it's okay for someone to victimize his daughter?
I'm not talking about his daughter. I'm talking about what
That's what we're talking about. So
Okay, well, I'm
we all
talking about
know
what
that.
you said.
We all, Trevor, we all know what happened. Leave that between him and Mary. We are talking about his daughter, his only other daughter that he has left. That people, the same person that claims to be a victim is victimizing her.
No,
Right?
she's counting against what she knows.
No, she's lying. She's lying, Trevor.
Daisy thinks she's lying.
Lies.
I mean, flat out calling her a liar. Flat out. Because Daisy has talked to her one whole time.
And you know that you were there? You were in that house.
No, her mother was there.
And Don was under the age of 18, but he was old enough to know better that it was wrong. And also, he was also a man when this happened as well, Daisy. A man.
Margie is going to talk to us as well. Margie is upset because of this.
Innocent people don't flee the state when CPS comes knocking at their door.
That's another thing. That's another thing. Innocent people don't flee the state.
No.
And they don't threaten to blow them up with CPS.
I know they don't. I know
Or
that.
Walmart. I mean, it's bad when you are banned from all of the Walmarts in the lower 48 in Hawaii and Alaska.
Kansas ain't never going to Alaska. Oh,
They will know when her orange hair gets anywhere in the perimeter of Walmart.
Right? You're going to believe what you want. You're
It
going to
doesn't matter. Dawn could shoot you in the face and you would say, Dawn, I love you so much.
Okay, let me ask you. If I told you that she never even raised her own kids, allegedly, would you believe it?
I didn't say that. I'm saying what
No,
you
I'm
said.
talking about the person that claims that to be a victim.
The person that claims to be a victim. The person that was sexually assaulted.
Allegedly sexually assaulted. You have proof of that?
So now Daisy doesn't believe her. Do you have proof of that? Well, Daisy, you're sitting there saying, well, I know she didn't do it, but you're saying allegedly. Do you have proof of that? Don admitted it. He admitted it, Daisy. Yeah, we have proof. There we go.
12-year-old boy, okay? You are clouding this case with that bullshit.
You're doing nothing to the case. Quit telling people they're trying to take from you behind your picture of a cow and scream about people because they're mean to your best friend, Donnie Candace. When they got to do
So Daisy thinks it's bullshit. Daisy thinks it's bullshit. She thinks it's bullshit. Well, you know who it's not bullshit to, Daisy? The victims.
I'm not giving the case to talk. Please give me respect, okay? I've done nothing for the case, right? You've never seen the Christmas tree video, obviously, where we went up there and celebrated.
Yep, you're right. Daisy has flipped on Mary too. She was all about Mary in the beginning too. Yeah. Yeah. She said she was convicted that the way she treated Dawn and Candace, but ironically, she's not convicted of how she's treating Mary and Jeannie now and all of them. That's exactly right. The proof is he said it out of his own mouth. And Don also said, again, I'll say it again, he was enticed by her, and what was it? He was the victim.
Christmas for summer, right? You've never seen the wreath that was all over the news that we went up there, and I made personally for summer, right? You've never seen the pictures of the birthday party and the prayer vigils that I've been to. You've never seen all that because you know nothing about me, Trevor. Nothing.
And you know nothing about me.
I know you've done good things, and I want to give you a good chance, but you're obviously immature and are going with things you have no idea about. So you think it's okay to try to victimize this man's daughter?
I never said that. When you get off your list, rewind and listen. I never said that. I'm talking about you're claiming he's not a victim because Don was 12.
Trevor, I am a victim of SA, okay? I would never go and taunt my abuser.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Lori. She was a baby, 5 years old. 5 years old. Like literally, this kid was just potty trained. Think about it, Daisy. Think about what you're saying. Jen Between, thank you so much. It's very generous. Thank you. I appreciate it, honey.
For victims, you can't tell her she's not allowed to do that because you didn't do it.
She's making up
We're
stories.
telling her that. We're telling her not to
That's exactly right, Trevor. You can't tell her she can't do it because you haven't did it.
make up stories
She's
about
making money off her channel, Trevor. Every time she gets her little face out here, there's people goes to her channel. I'm not saying that it's not true what happened. I'm just saying they were both children at the time. It's not like he was an adult. And I am telling you right now that there's no proof that Don did anything to Summer, nor that he did to his daughter. And his daughter is very upset about this.
You keep saying that about the daughter. I've never said anything about the daughter. I said that what was brought up was that Mary reported it. Other family members as well and called CPS. And Don fled the state.
Do you know this for a fact?
Do you know for a fact it didn't happen?
And do you know who the other family members was? Was it step family members? Because they don't like Don, allegedly, because Don has got entitlement to that property.
So Daisy thinks, and because you can tell Daisy has taken this word by word for Don, because Don said, well, I think they're doing this because I get the property. No. It's because of the things you have done previous, Don, that you've admitted to.
And they've never treated him very well.
Poor Don. The
Yeah,
pedophile.
you don't know that trick.
Poor pedophile.
You just want to go with the crowd. You don't want to think outside of the box. This
Poor
family is already suffering enough. But the police has not even named them as a person of interest.
Everyone's a suspect. That's what the police said. Everyone is a suspect.
And that includes, could be you, could be me, could be anybody, right? Do I go in?
Everyone is a suspect. Everyone is a suspect in this case. But again, I'll say it, and I'll say it 1,000 more times.
I think you're a suspect.
They have never cleared the parents after nearly 2 years. That says a lot, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't clear the parents after 2 years, okay.
Attack you or anybody and say, oh, that's the person? No, we don't know, Trevor. But to continuously cloud Summer's case with this Mary stuff is ridiculous.
To continuously cloud her case by spending time defending her father, who is a pedophile, doesn't help either.
We all know that I haven't done that the whole time.
You haven't done it the whole time, but you were convicted, Daisy, that you said the way you was mean to Don is what you said. You were convicted. Now you're taking up for him.
Only since I have talked to Donna Candace and seen the real Donna Candace and seen all
The real Don and Candace. The clouds parted, and now she saw the real Don and Candace. So, who is a known pedo with his sister, not charged, but admitted, and she takes him up for that. The real Don and Candace.
People have said since I've talked to him.
That's not a lie. It's not a rumor. It's exactly what Don said.
Nobody knows what happened to that baby. Even the police does not know what happened to her.
The police know a lot more than we do. I will say that. FBI knows a lot more than we do. And again, they have still not cleared the parents.
Don likes you if you reach out and kiss his ass.
That's the only way Don likes you. You start asking him legitimate questions, it's I don't remember or F you. Candace won't even talk.
I don't know.
Trevor,
Candace won't even put up a damn flyer. Candace won't do nothing.
I reached out and asked him. I told him I was going to help him. You know, he didn't threaten my life and call me the N-word. So you want to talk about a great man here who loves him?
Trevor, listen. When you reached out to Don, what is the first thing that you said to him?
I would like you to find your daughter.
No, you said, why haven't you been looking for Summer? That's
I
what
did
you
not
said.
say that. I have the text. I did not say that. I know Mr. Pedophile Liar told you that. I said that. I did.
So Trevor has the text. He said the first thing he ever said to Don is, let me help you find your daughter. And they're saying something else because Don told them, and Trevor's like, I've got the text. I'll show you exactly what I told you. They're told Don. They choose to believe Don and Candace, who are notorious liars. Don's a criminal, a career criminal.
I watched you on a live when Don, when you said to him, the first thing you said was, "Why are you not looking for your daughter?"
Nope. That's not true.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you think that you know more than me about something I said, but it's not the case.
Okay, looks like you have provoked him because Don just don't. He's very easygoing. I mean, there's things that he could have said, say.
Hey, Marissa, can you mute? They're saying they can hear you.
About people that have attacked.
No, I thought he didn't.
He could have, but he's not. And so he's not very vindictive. Don is not vindictive at all. He's not mean. Candace is not.
Don is not vindictive to her. He's not mean. He'll just call you an N word, an F word, and every other word. But yet he's an altar boy, right? He's just up there. He's only like that with you, Daisy, because you don't challenge him. You believe every word that comes from his mouth. A known liar, career criminal, and self-admitted pedo.
I mean, why are you going after Candace? That's what I'd like to know.
And then victim blaming.
It doesn't matter. They've never done anything for you. It was my fault that he said those things to me after I said I would help him. It was his fault. Or it was somebody else's fault that he
Yeah, Trevor calls a young man, very young man, kid in my book, young guy, offers $2,000 of his own money that he worked for to help find Summer. Don's never offered $2,000 to find Summer. And what does Trevor get? He says, I want to help you find your daughter, a 19-year-old. You this, you
So
that.
sad. You're sad.
I mean, Marissa, how many 19-year-olds have offered up their money that they worked for? This kid worked for it. And Don calls him the N-word.
Sad. Sad.
And this isn't just a one-over for Don. I mean, Don says the N-word and every other racist, bigoted thing because you know what? It's a pattern for him, just like prison is a pattern for him. It's over and over and over.
No.
But yet he moves on to the next YouTuber who believes him.
Yeah.
For a little while.
I know. So how did my question is, how did Dolly take it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Does your chat know?
I mean, in my opinion, I think Dolly will see the light sooner or later.
Trevor, listen. Listen, when you come up, if you want to talk to somebody, when you come up, you cannot say to someone who is missing their daughter, why haven't you been out looking for your daughter? You can't say that and then expect them to be like, okay, let me overlook this and just continue to be nice. What that did was made him upset. And I don't think that it was right that he said the N-word to you. Absolutely not. And he knows it wasn't right. But you can't come up.
But you can't come up. But you can't come up.
Idiot. Recycle shit. I'm not down to hear all this simpleton stuff. I want to hear something new. Not all the recycled stuff that we've talked about over and over again for 500 years.
All right, let's we're gonna see what. Hold on.
Please, before I stick my head in a pot. Right? Violet, what are you eating? What is that? What is that? What is that? Please tell me what the hell is that? Well, get that. What is that? Hey. Hey. You know what? I give up. Whatever.
Mute, Maris. Hold on. I need to back it up. Oh, sure. Hey, Trevor, come up. I dropped the link. You just come up for a minute. The only thing Trevor said was, you know, all you're doing is cussing people out on YouTube, which is all Don does. He just cusses you. Of course, Josh is welcome if he wants to come up. They don't have to ask. I just drop a link. Marissa left. It's exactly what it is. I found a few months ago. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is he drinking again? He's always drinking. It never fails. I mean, do you know how embarrassing it was? It was like secondhand embarrassment. The first interview that they did on the local news, Candace was sloth. He owed $80,000. I always believed that emotional call from Candace to Mary was real. The fake was a prank, the lie. Yeah, Josh, Trevor, you're welcome up. Come up. This is the thing. This is the thing. And people has said this a lot to me. Well, what if they're innocent? What if they're innocent? What if they're innocent? Okay, no worries, Josh. No worries. If they're innocent, they're innocent. To me, they're not good people regardless. They are not good people regardless. Trevor, what's up?
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Ooh, I'm worn out. How are you doing?
Good, good. So what did Miss we're going over what Miss Daisy said to you.
Yeah, that was a interesting time. I was actually watching on a channel that was watching it, and then she was talking about how Mary doesn't count as a victim.
Oh, I was like,
Yep. Oh, I went over there and I said victim shaming in the chat, and I got blocked. So then I messaged her and said, drop the link. I mean, if I'm gonna get blocked in chat, drop the link.
mhm. I mean, this is the thing. When Daisy and I had our tiff, I went over there. I was respectful as a human being could be. I get off the panel, and that's when the shit talking started. And she's not liked me ever since. And that is, do you remember when she said that Rose was alive?
No,
You don't? Okay.
that's
Well,
crazy
a
though.
year ago or so, she said Rose was alive, which is Candace's sister, who's been missing for years. Well, Rose has 2 kids and a husband, Chris. Chris, he's in a lot of these chats,
Yeah,
and I can't imagine their kids seeing that they're saying someone saying their mother is alive. That's horrible.
I know.
It's horrible. What do you think the reason is Daisy is so adamant on defending Don and Candace?
I have no idea. I tried to say that when we were in there, and there was no explanation. Because I mean, if you guys listened at the beginning, it got the beginning when I got on, it got pretty heated because she just wouldn't. She was telling me that I was in the wrong for suspecting them, but there was no reasoning she could give for why I shouldn't.
Well, Trevor, this is what I said. Everyone is a suspect, and they tell you that. But you would think after nearly 2 years, they could at least clear the parents.
And I've said from the jump, and I've said it on yours page, and I know we've talked about this, but they would love to clear the parents if they could. Do you know how many
That,
texts and emails they
yeah,
get, Dawn and Candace? If they could
that,
clear them, they
yeah,
would.
exactly. Like they want to clear the parents ASAP. That way, the eyes are off of them. They can continue. More tips would roll in, hopefully, but they haven't. And in my opinion, there's a big reason for that.
hmm And like I told her, and we all agree on this, if somebody else is found guilty for what happened to Summer, we'll be glad that there's justice. But I hate being,
Absolutely.
because I suspect the parents that I only want to see them arrested and I don't want to see justice. But they can say that if they support, I say they, I mean more of Daisy. Christine and I had a pretty good conversation, but with Daisy saying that she could support the parents and that helps get justice, but me not supporting the parents hurts getting justice. That doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. It hasn't. No, not at all. I don't know. Like Daisy, I don't think she thinks things all the way through. I think she's more of an emotional being. And because someone talks soft to her and talks nice to her, that changes her emotion and how she feels for that person. And she can't remain objective. And that's just my honest thoughts about it. I actually don't think Daisy is a horrible person or anything like that. I think she's just very simple minded and is just going off an emotional thing rather than actually thinking it logically and thinking it through.
I agree, and I think the same way. I don't think people would kind of see what
Oh,
sarcastically,
yeah.
but I mean, like literally what we're seeing by Donnie Candace. But if not, that's fine. But at the same time, you can't close your mind into that and decide that we're just terrible for not. I mean, she literally tried to tell me that Donnie Candace may hurt themselves because of what I say. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, what? Why wasn't she thinking that whenever she was talking horrible about them? That's her word. She was talking horrible about them.
Well, yeah,
Um,
Josh said, hey, she said things worse than he and I either have said. You, he, I, none of
oh,
us have said.
yes, absolutely. Uh, I don't know about Daisy. Like, I don't get it. Like, because this one person comes out of the woodwork and says, "No, I didn't try to sell my kids." Well, first of all, she has 15 of them. Uh, I don't think she would ever admit that she was a raging drug addict at the time, and she tried to sell our kids, right? I mean, I don't think that either one of them's going to admit that. I think they're going to both. And also, she says that Pam has foster kids right now. And Pam is going to deny that to the hills if she's got foster kids right now. That's just the way it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's not going to say, yeah, back then I tried to sell one of my kids. You know, I've got 15 foster kids here right now, or 5 foster kids, or how many foster kids. You're not going to do that. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, the source is not ever the person you're going to want to go to for an answer. And I'm not saying that she did or didn't, that Daisy's wrong or is right, but that's not a good way of finding an answer. That she did. If she says no, that's not. I mean, if that was the case, then if you pled guilty in court, they'd be saying, "Oh, you're good. You said you didn't do it, so you didn't do it." It doesn't work that way.
Well, and it's not. I mean, yeah, it's not. You know, it's one source that she's taking this from, and she's defending it to the teeth.
Right, and I would not be surprised at all if Pam did that, because very early on in the case, and this was before I even went on YouTube, had only posted on like social media pictures of Summer and the flyer and all that. Somebody reached out that knew them and told me that they tried to sell Summer when Candace was still pregnant. They tried to organize a deal and it fell through. And that was here locally. And it was nobody that wanted to get YouTube fame off of it, because I wasn't a creator and this person wasn't either. So it's not like they wanted to get this out there, go to the news, but it wasn't anything like that. This was just, they wanted me to know what kind of person that these people are. And that came out very early. So these are the kind of things that I go back and look at. No, I don't have proof of that, but I also don't find a reason why that person would have lied at that point in time in the case.
I'll be honest with you. I think Candace is very childlike herself. I don't think personally she has the mental capacity to be a mother. She doesn't have any nurturing quality. And I don't even think it's really her fault, to be quite honest with you. I just don't think she has it. And I'm not trying to be rude about it or anything, but I just don't think she has the capacity to do it. And I think she'd never wanted a girl. And I think she was jealous. I'm just, that's my opinion. I think she was just jealous, and a girl wasn't going to fit in the cards. Thank you, S. Mac.
Well, let's take Don's word.
Go for it.
For truth in this point. He loved her so much. Summer loved him so much. She was the baby in the family, the little girl, daddy's girl. Who is going to become jealous there? It's not going to be Don. It's not going to be the boys. Who is it going to be?
Summer. And it took focus off of Candace. Yeah.
Yep. And there's a reason she's been so quiet.
Yes. Yes. There's a total reason she's been so quiet. I mean, most mothers are particularly emotional, particularly the ones out there in front of the cameras and everything. And all Candace does, I mean, really, is the last interview. She hasn't given an interview in months and months and months. And on Dr. Phil is, I feel like you're interrogating me.
Ridiculous. And it's like, she doesn't, and I don't even expect her to come and answer every single question we have for her. That's up to her. But
of course,
she should have been calling the news. And I know that the news here would have set up a camera in her yard every day, 7 days a week, letting her make a plea live on air every single day. But she's never done that. She made that one interview on the news very early on, where she was sitting with Dawn, that really weird interview in the first little bit time.
Yep.
That's the only one she made. When she came back, when Ansley came back to get another interview, Candace wrote her a note. She wouldn't even go on camera.
Yep. Wrote her a note, and you ask Candace, Grandis, when's the last time you've talked to TBI, Hawkins County? Well, they got my number. It doesn't
Never heard of that.
sound right. It doesn't pass the smell test.
Absolutely not. They have my number. You also have theirs. That's your grandchild that's missing. It's not theirs. You should be the one banging at their door, calling them every day, begging for answers.
And Grandis, she's just dropped off the face of the freaking planet.
Yep. I noticed the other day she's active on Facebook again, commenting on her friend's post, but I have no idea where she is or anything. But I
Yeah.
noticed that she's on the internet. So you can see
Yeah.
that she's moved on.
And in what family does two people go missing? Both are unsolved. I'll wait. I mean, it's an extraordinarily rare thing that one person goes missing in a family. For two, it's unheard of. Unless there is someone in that family who is doing nefarious things, in my opinion.
And not only two people going missing, but two, like you said, unsolved, two people that literally vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're not out, nobody knows they existed. There's no trail, there's no anything. They just vanished. And people don't just vanish, adults or kids.
It doesn't happen.
Rose didn't get out of that car and just spin off into thin air. Summer didn't walk out that basement door and just evaporate. It doesn't work.
I've always heard there was a lot of jealousy between Rose or Candace was particularly jealous of Rose.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, the issues with Rose and the CPS stuff and Candace losing all of her kids. Meanwhile, Rose had this nice little family and
yes.
I mean, it seems like a clear fit to me. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but it does seem like she would be jealous there. I mean, Rose was the younger, like I said, had a nice little family, probably a healthy relationship, at least at times. I know things got bad between them, but at least at one point, it was probably better than this Dawn and Candace thing we got going on.
Was Dawn and Candace together when Rose went missing?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they were they?
They got married in, I think, 16. And Rose went missing and years before that. And
they got divorced. Pam and Donald got divorced in 20. They were together? Okay, the lab says they were together.
Okay.
Because they got married in 2016. Dawn and Candace did, right?
Yeah.
Because Pam and Donald got divorced in 2015. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure Josh is right. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen. It just does not happen. Two people go missing. And just, when did Rose go missing? 2012, 2010? When did she go missing? 20? I don't remember. Someone will tell me in chat. But within just
2009.
2009, that's right. Yeah. Doesn't happen. It is a total red flag.
Oh, yeah.
2009.
You eventually run out of coincidences and you find a common denominator.
Yeah. And the common denominator, let's just think about this for a minute. They were in a Dawn and Candace was supposedly living in a different state when Rose went missing. Grandis was living in the same state Rose was living in at the time. And then you have Dawn and Candace, Summer going missing. There's someone that knows a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Was at the reunion. My opinion is Dawn, Creep, and Candace got jealous. I think Candace was very jealous of Summer. I think Dawn showed attention to Summer. And, well, I mean, we know that Dawn and Candace are particularly jealous of others, in their relationship. And
Yeah.
Candace doesn't like any woman that she feels like they're a threat. Whether it's valid or invalid, and I mean, we know that Dawn's cheated on Candace more times than we could ever imagine, probably.
Yeah, we saw what Candace did when he went to jail.
And vice versa, yeah. And I to be honest with you, I have questions still about a younger person was with the day Summer went missing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's normal behavior.
No.
It's not normal behavior. And it was a way to possibly make Dawn jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel really bad for Hunter. The kid has
Yeah.
been through a lot of crap in his very short years. A lot of crap.
I just hope he can get on the right track before it's.
Me too.
I mean, I don't want to say too late, but he's going to get in so much trouble as a minor. I hope somebody can kind of get him on the right track while he still has time.
Well, look at his parents.
I know. That's the issue. I mean, look at everybody he's been associated with.
Yeah.
The adults in his life.
Yeah, the thing about Ben Hill Road is it's not just Don and Candace that are criminals. Like the whole freaking holler is criminals. Like you look at every single house, you look at their background. I look at this address, background, felon, 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 felon. It's the whole. That's exactly right, Rose. It's the whole dang road. And then you got, Shurfy down the road who has done really horrible things. Just literally in May, Summer goes missing in June. Fred, Andrew, B, yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
it's
can
just everybody,
all
and that's what
point at
gives
each
Don
other.
such an easy deflection.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying is he can say X, Y, and Z because everybody has a past up there. I mean, Don's adamant on Fred Hill, and people can't just not look at him because of, he's got a past, and you look at everybody. I mean, everybody up there does. It's just, and you think about being a kid having to grow up there, it's like,
oh my God, you don't have a freaking chance. You don't have a
no,
freaking
that's why I'm
chance.
thankful that the boys, that's why I'm so adamant on them not getting the boys back. People are like, you're interfering. You just hate Don and Candace. You want them to have their family back? No, I want those boys to have a chance. That's what I want.
That's exactly
And their best
right.
chance is a new life.
They
had their chance with their parents, and it didn't work.
Well, it clearly, I mean, Candace has multiple kids. She has none of them. Not just in one state, multiple states. That's not an accident. That's That's
No, you
for
don't
a
go over
reason.
7 on accident.
Yeah. And all of them are taken away. I just don't think Candace has the mental capacity, in my opinion, to really raise a kid properly.
I agree. I don't think she does, and I don't think she should be able to.
Yeah.
She's lost 7 kids, and we'll take some of the equation because we don't know what happened to her. So we'll say 6.
Mhm. Well,
Sorry, there's
yeah.
an Amber Alert going off.
All for Tennessee. Hey, there's a girl missing in East Tennessee right now. Did they find her? Do you know who I'm talking about? I was going to do a live on her. She's I think she's like 15 or 16. She was dating like a 30-year-old man. Do you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Did they find her?
Yeah, they found her.
Dead.
She's run away a few times. I'm actually friends with her mom on Facebook just because she wants me to share like when they post about her missing and such.
Was she alive or dead?
Alive.
She was alive?
If we're talking about the same person.
She was dating like a 30-some-year-old. She was in like a CPS kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Danielle Owens was missing from CPS custody. She was found deceased.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They found her body the other day in a field in Greenville.
Yeah, like she was saw fighting with her boyfriend like right before
Yep.
she
Yeah,
missing.
she ran from CPS custody and went to her boyfriend's house. They were fighting. He got the cops called on him. She ran that night and wasn't seen again, and she passed away in that cornfield.
Wow. Is he being charged?
As far as I know, yeah. I haven't heard
Okay.
much about him, but I would hope so.
Oh God.
But around here, I don't count on anything until I see it.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt. It's craziness. Craziness. Well, thank you, Trevor. Appreciate it. I'm actually going to call it a night. I have 702 people in here, but I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to finish this tomorrow for Miss Daisy, though. I will be back tomorrow, and we will finish this with Miss Daisy. Part 2. Because
Part 2.
Mary, she is such a good person.
Yep.
You can tell she's just a good person. And Daisy's saying that she is a victim, and I believe her because I believe victims.
Yep.
But
when I initially joined live, my name on StreamYard was Victim Believer. That's when she got mad at me and
saw
put me on
that.
my
I heard that. I heard that.
I was heated when she said that Mary's not a victim because they were young. Oh, that got me.
Oh God.
Got me fired up.
Trevor, to me, right after Summer went missing, they called like literally the next day and said, you know what, my brother essayed us. My stepbrother essayed us. We know what kind of person he is. Just check him out. That took first of all, it took courage. Second of all, you had to know who this man really was. Because your kid goes, someone in your family, their kid goes missing, and you automatically think it's someone else normally in a normal situation. But in their situation, they know who Don is. They know who the real Don is. They know who Candace is. And it took a lot of courage for them to do that. And it's not exactly what, it's kind of, it's, there's no shame or anything on their part, but you don't want like everyone to tell the world your brother's done this, but they're doing it for Summer. You know what
Right.
and they're doing it for themselves as well now. But
People think that they're doing it for attention, but it's like, what person wants to rehash their worst traumas and go through that victimization again for fun? It
yes,
doesn't work that way.
yeah,
There's no amount of attention that covers that amount of that type of trauma. So clearly they were doing it for a bigger purpose, and it was Summer, and people need to see that.
yeah, and after and it happening at 5 years old, it again happening the day Don gets out of jail. They go to bed that night. Dawn crawls, tries to crawl in the bed.
Yep.
The very night he got out of jail. She runs to her parents' house, in the bedroom. And then it's, if you tell anyone, this family is over. And that had to put a lot of pressure on them.
Oh yeah.
I'm the reason, I'm the reason because this asshole's over here, doing this to me. I'm the reason this family splits apart if you say anything.
Right.
And then so many years later, they call again, hoping to be believed again. You know what I mean? They weren't
Totally.
believed. They weren't believed the first time. A lot of people never say anything again if they're not believed.
Nope. And they stood back up and spoke out because they saw that there was a missing kid, and they thought that that was relevant to the situation. And I 100% think it is. And I'm glad they
I
did
do
speak
too.
out. And I admire their courage, because who knows if we were in their shoes, if we would have been able to do what they did.
Yep. Exactly. It's a lot of courage. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. It's almost 3 a.m. where I'm at. So thank you, Trevor, for coming up. Thank
Sure.
you all for being here. I'll be back tomorrow for part 2 for this. We'll
All right,
do it.
or Justin.
Good night. God bless each and every one of you. Have a good night. We will see you soon. Thank you all. Bye-bye.